Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of the Kaiju Caballeros podcast. I am your host, Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir, and here with me are my faithful co-hosts. First up to bat, it is the one and only David Joshua Hernandez, aka Gorizard.
Andres forced us to watch this.
What exactly this is, you're gonna find out real soon. But before that, let us introduce the second and just as equally most valuable co-host of the podcast. It is the legendary friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, 8-Arm Spidey, aka Frankie G.
Hey everybody, can you believe that we made it to episode 4?
All right, so this is the episode that I've been wanting to do since we started this podcast, because we had a brand
folks, let
new...
me tell you, I've had to put a restraining order on him. It's been ridiculous. No, but this is going to be an interesting one because I have a lot to say. There's a lot to be said about this, but I'm gonna give it all the benefits, all the doubts, because there's a lot to go into this. But we were talking about Gavan Infinity, aka Project Red.
Yes.
We teased it in our inaugural episode.
Yes, we did.
But it finally came out, and boy.
So here's the thing. So it's not every day that a brand new tokusatsu franchise gets its debut. And so given that we have just debuted our, podcast this year, I figured, this is a perfect time to just sort of like collect our thoughts and just commentate on this brand new franchise and sort of see where it goes, especially since, as Frank mentioned, our very first episode was talking about the death of Super Sentai and sort of the emergence of Project Red.
We might be seeing the death of fucking Metal Heroes.
It really depends.
No, but Metal Knight, we'll get into that later, but there's another one right next to this one that looks a little more promising.
Absolutely. So before we get into the topic of Gavan Infinity, I definitely want to take a brief aside to talk about another big major news that occurred over the weekend, and that was a live stream Toei held concerning the 55th anniversary of Kamen Rider.
Yeah,
and
baby.
It's really cool to see how Kamen Rider has made leaps and strides over in terms of getting a lot of its content over to the West. We've had Crunchyroll that was streaming Tojima Who Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. I feel like that actually really helped the Kamen Rider franchise. Oh yeah,
because again, the entry point for Kamen Rider is I would say more severe than any other entry point for its formula style. Because To put aside to Ultraman, that's kind of the same formula basically since day one of guy gets power, becomes big, fights monsters. That's the formula is set in stone. Kamen Rider took that massive shift in its Heisei era and into its now its modern era that I think really made it very difficult for new people because all the switches and gauges and toy
and drivers and belts and transformations.
It definitely was people could grasp onto it, but it was not something you could easily start as much as you could a Kamen Rider, an Ultraman or a Power Rangers or something.
Yeah, and I feel with a show like Tojima Rider, I noticed that a lot of Americans, especially anime American fans, had latched on to Tojima Rider going in with no knowledge whatsoever of Kamen Rider, but the show does a fantastic job at explaining what it is that these characters are gushing about and just getting you equally hyped about it, giving you a reason to care about it.
People hype baiting, as I like to call it sometimes. It's the same the JoJo fandom, they get hype baited over stuff.
Yeah.
But it's for good this time. So they kind of got because again, that's the whole thing. The guy's super stoked and pumped to be his favorite hero, which as you should be. I get that way when I wear Spidey. So I get it. I fucking get it. So it's one of those things where, it did a lot of things to benefit, because I think that's what people forget is that they forget what makes it fun. Because on the outset, people would see, I think I even mentioned this in our first episode, but when people see Power Rangers or Kamen Rider, they're like, oh, this seems kind of lame, Monster Eat Kid stuff. But then when someone gives you the 2-second rundown, it's no, look, this is a guy who got basically the RoboCop thing. He got turned into a machine against his will, and now he kicks the shit out of Nazis. And people are like, oh, wait, I didn't know that's what it was about. I'm in.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are unaware of
like
the darker tragic elements of Kamen Rider.
Yeah, because once you break it down without the visual, people are like, oh wait, what the fuck is this? This sounds crazy. Like, oh yeah, it's that bug guy on television. That's the thing that has this like deep rooted lore and like tragedy and like almost like Shakespearean like heroicism and shit. It's like, yeah, it's goddamn goofy Kamen Rider. That's the show that it comes from.
It's like, hey, remember that shit from the 90s? Ecto, change, activate. It's like, that's that shit.
Well, I remember the moment I found out that like in Super Sentai that Geki Barai, the Green Ranger, Dragon Ranger, fucking dies. Like when I was like, oh shit, wait, what? Like when you realize like the harshness of like the source material, it gives you a better appreciation for it, I think.
For sure. So anyways,
and I think that happened with Kamen Rider. So yeah, continue.
So anyways, yeah, aside from Tojima Rider, which has been a big success, we've had the streaming of the continued English premiere streaming of Kamen Rider Zets, which is fantastic. We're about halfway through the show at this point.
People are liking it a lot.
Oh yeah, people are. And what else? We continue to get Blu-rays from Discotech, from Media Blasters, from Shout Factory. We're still getting steady releases of the Kamen Rider Kuga manga that was being released by, I think, Titan Comics. So we're getting a decent, consistent amount of Kamen Rider content. And we just had a whole bunch of news saying that they so far Toei is happy with its success of bringing Kamen Rider to an international audience, and that they plan to double down on that.
I do hope we start getting games again.
Well, interesting that you mentioned that, because they just announced 4 labels, not so much projects, but labels for like, oh, everything revolving around this goes here in this category. So they have a new thing called Game Project Henshin, and Game Project Henshin is going to be revolved around like their video game projects. However, from what I've heard, they had like a short little teaser of a guy with a smartphone. The Kuga symbol pops out of his smartphone and he transforms into Kuga. I have no idea what that means, but apparently it's going to be
probably a mobile game.
Yeah, another mobile game.
I mean, that's like, you always expect that from mobile games. Like I'm currently playing, and I've sadly spent money on the Puzzle Swatch mobile game. I have invested money in that.
My roommate also plays that. I hear it's pretty decent.
Because I play fucking Royal Kingdom and Puzzle Swatch. Like, they're the same fucking game, just one has the Ultimate label on it, so I'm instantly invested.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's same with me in Godzilla Battle Line, though it's been a couple months since I've touched that one.
I have stopped playing that game entirely because I'm like, but
yeah.
Anyways,
it's funny
moving along. A thing that no one talks about: fucking Metal Heroes.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. There's still more Toei shit.
Oh shit! There's more.
There's more, but wait, there's more. So next up is another label they created called The Kamen Rider Animated, which is going to be their label for upcoming animated projects, specifically a brand new original CGI Kamen Rider anime that they're producing.
I hope not, because if it's anything like the Ultraman anime, which I wanted to like because I like the manga, I couldn't watch it.
I have yet to watch season 3, so I don't know.
It's too ugly.
When it comes to animated, apparently they want this label in particular to be aimed towards the Western, like American/Western market. So
because unfortunately, Futopia, as good of a show it was, did not catch on. I tried getting people into it, and they dug it, and then. But again, much like with Gridman, until the titular hero of said show pops up, they're like, what is this bullshit? And they stop watching.
What's this Power Rangers nonsense?
Which again, bummed me the fuck out. I'm like, no, the show's still good. Come on.
I mean, I still hope
like the fact that Kaiju 8 did well at all. I'm like, thank God.
I mean, I know we're still getting a Tojima Rider season 2, so I'm wondering if that's also going to be a part of this Kamen Rider animated banner. But
maybe again, they might get more license to do more things within it. So we'll see.
I mean, hey, apparently Tojima Rider is getting both a SH figure arts of the main character Tojima and a Figma figure of Tackle, so that's the thing
that's funny though is that like I've seen you can do a fan mod version of that figure so much easier than actually buying what they're probably going to sell you.
That's probably true.
Because the blank base bodies for SH Figure Arts are like, you can buy them for like $20 on like AliExpress and then just buy doll clothing and put it on it and you're done.
Yeah. Next up is Kamen Rider Chronicle, which is going to be projects focusing on past writers. And the first thing they announced for Kamen Rider Chronicle is the previously unveiled 25th anniversary Agito movie, which is going to be called Agito Psychic Wars. And they announced
the new designs, baby.
New designs. And we're also going to get a 20th anniversary Kamen Rider Kabuto movie. Whether or not they're going to get the main actor involved, who knows? Because apparently he's sort of been blacklisted from the Japanese entertainment industry because he left his from what my roommates told me, the main actor for Kabuto, he left his agency at some point before his contract expired, which is because he wanted to get into Hollywood. He wanted to get into American films because he was born and raised in the U.S., I believe. But apparently, like, when you leave before your contract expires, that's like a big no-no in Japan. So
I mean, that's a big no-no with a lot of places.
Oh yeah. So like, he hasn't been able to work on anything Kabuto related, even when he is on YouTube and he is bringing on like his former co-workers from the show, his cast members from the show. They're talking about the show without specifically name dropping the show because they're not allowed to. So yeah, no clue if Tendo is going to be in the Kabuto movie, but that's going to be something that's unveiled. And finally,
when are we going to get a Godzilla anime that's good? That's what I want to know.
Well, I don't know about that, but what I do know is that the last thing that they are announcing is Kamen Rider Premium, which is going to be their label for mid to high budget movies. So
fucking mid is right. Sorry.
So unlike the majority of like Kamen Rider movies, which are essentially just episodes of the TV shows up on the big screen, they wanted to produce more stuff like Kamen. Like
that's right, because they've mostly done compilation films.
Well,
the earlier Showa movies were kind of fun.
Yeah, but like they want to do more stuff like Shin Kamen Rider, where it's like a movie, something that's like of cinematic quality.
For theaters, just don't let Ano touch it. Just
exactly.
Don't tell him I said that. He listens.
Hey! All right, Shin Kamen Rider was great. You liked it. It's.
I did like it, except for the last half where he just cries for 10 minutes. a 10-minute long scene of that man crying on his camera.
Well, apparently,
oh wow, character development now.
Well, apparently, Ano has been dying to do a
needs
sequel.
To talk to his father desperately.
Well,
and work things out.
He wanted to do a whatchamacallit. He wants to do a sequel.
Yeah, what happened with that? What happened to that thing he was making? That there was literally footage out there of it.
Yeah.
What happened to it?
He wants to do a thing called Shin Kamen Rider Rider World. And yeah, we haven't heard anything about it. So
because as far as I know, it's done. Like it's finished filming like years ago.
Right. So I can only assume that Toei was not interested, or that the movie did not perform well enough to warrant such a thing. Which is weird because like
Shin got cool outside fight scene.
Because, like, Shin Godzilla did gangbusters in Japan, and he actually proposed a sequel where he would have taken it into a more, like, what was it called? He wanted to do, like, a big nonstop action movie akin to, like, the summer festival movies that he grew up with, where they would show, like, truncated, abridged versions of, like, classic Showa movies. But again, Toei wasn't interested, so who knows? Yeah.
Well, because again, he made it a little too dramatic and weird.
Yeah, and perhaps it was like maybe in Toho's case, they never intended for Shin Godzilla to be its own franchise. Rather, it was always meant to be a one and done project. But anyways,
I'm saying redo Cutie Honey the way you did it the first time, because that if you compare Cutie Honey to the other live action movies he's made recently, like you would not believe me if I told you that was Ano at all
or Gunbuster for that matter.
Well, I'm talking about live action stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Because the Cutie Honey movies, like, I'm like, he can have fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Lastly, we got one more announcement, which was... two more announcements. One is that Kamen Rider Agito and Kabuto will be coming to YouTube officially fully subbed on the Toei Tokusatsu channel for
And they'll be
international
in
audiences.
And they're going to be in Rush Hour 3.
Yeah, and they're going to be in Rush Hour 3. And finally, we got the logo and name of this year's Kamen Rider on TV after Kamen Rider Z's finished, which is Kamen Rider Mice, which apparently is going to be mythological based. What exactly that means, I have no clue.
It'd be cool if it's Sun Wukong. That'd be neat.
Yep, or Greek mythology, or
No.
Roman mythology.
Actually, what did didn't they technically do that in Ryuki? Kinda.
Ryuki didn't really touch upon.
Oh no, is it Norse? Because one of them is named Odin.
Oh yeah. Kamen Rider Odin is is like the big bad of the whole show. Yeah. But I wouldn't say it's like mythology themed.
One's a siren, so...
I mean, I know Kamen Rider Den-O did dabbled in Japanese mythology by having each of the demons named after popular characters, like Momotaro's.
Leonardo, Raphael,
yeah.
Michelangelo. Everyone's favorites.
Yeah. So anyways,
yeah.
David, you've been quiet this whole time. What are your thoughts on all these upcoming Kamen Rider announcements? How do you feel?
Excited?
How do you feel about so much Kamen Rider coming out in America, especially when we, back in the heyday of our YouTube channels, we used to feed off of tables. We used to feed off of table scraps when it came to Kamen Rider.
We definitely need to have an episode about that.
Yeah,
that's actually, I think that might be my third or fourth episode I might do.
Sure.
Anyways,
David.
I just
okay, and what'd you do afterwards?
I just some more with each announcement.
And what'd you do after that?
Cut this from the show. You can't have this kind of talk.
No, the public needs to know.
They need to know about the...
At least bleep it out. It'll be funnier that way.
Wait, okay. He's forced my hand. Okay, so David, I'm bringing out the jizz scale again.
No.
How full...
I'm off this podcast.
No, fuck you.
I'm gone.
You said this is what you signed up for, Frank. This is what you get when you try to start a new podcast with two.
I can't share this with my dad.
Sons of Sarasama.
My dad listens. He's supportive of his son.
David, how much on the jizz scale did were you excited for with all these announcements?
I broke it.
The vial is completely gone. It's destroyed. It's eradicated. Yeah. It's never coming back.
Ball juice everywhere.
You've destroyed the jizz scale.
Babies who are listening, possibly with their parents. I'm sorry. I don't know what got into them. It's Easter Sunday.
Don't try to act like you're better. Don't try to act like you're better than this, Frank.
It's Easter.
You think you're better than me?
Yeah.
All right. So, of all the announcements, David, which one are you the most excited for?
The premium stuff where they're going to focus on the more feature-length films.
Yeah.
For that brand. But I like the entire thing. Like, it sounds like Toei's getting their shit together for Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Because it seems like Kamen Rider's been all over the place over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And just having these separate brands where they'll probably split the oversight with different producers and whatnot. It seems genius.
I concur.
Mm-hmm.
And Toho has been kind of sort of doing, well, no, that it's been all over the place with how they've been handling Godzilla. You have one live action film, then multiple animes, then they go back to live action, and now they're going back to anime with a kid turning into Godzilla.
Oh fuck! I forgot that was a thing.
Well, yeah, because the Phantom doesn't like anything fun.
That's very true.
But out of all the fandoms, Godzilla fans, much like Star Wars fans, hate their own creations. That's it. That's what bums me out the most, because like I can be the most bitter, pessimistic person at the same time, but it's like, God damn it, guys. Like, it's one thing, to dislike something, but for them, it's like, no, we're gonna bully them off the internet. We hate it levels. I'm like, oh my god, this is why we don't have. Literally, this is why we don't have nice things.
You're not wrong. Anyways, continue, David.
Well, yeah, just I like that Toei actually has a plan.
Okay.
For all this,
yeah, which is very refreshing.
Let's see. And you know what's one thing? I'll bring this up only because this is something a lot of fans on Twitter wanted. When they announced Kamen Rider Chronicle, their branch to focus on old school writers, and especially with animated. The one thing that fans have been asking for decades now, and are hoping for now more than ever, is an anime adaptation of Kamen Rider Spirits. And for those who don't know what Spirits...
that would be cool.
Yeah, for those who don't know what Kamen Rider Spirits is, it's basically a manga that sort of modernizes the classic Showa writers.
It's like the multiverse of...
and it brings...
But they're all, like, within the same... Wait, actually, no, that's the different thing with Kamen Rider. Kamen Riders exist in the same, like, plane of existence. Well, in the Showa era, they like... Because two of them are like, no, we invented this guy.
Right. Like, the Showa, it was always one continuity, so, like, these guys would always show up in each other's series. And here, Kamen Rider Spirits essentially was, here are a bunch of new stories with modern storytelling priorities told with these classic characters. We're going to flesh out these characters, give them more deeper character arcs, but also very stylish action sequences. We're going to retell Z-Cross's origin story and do him justice, and maybe tease Kamen Rider Black at the very end. So, unfortunately, it has yet to have received an English release. People have been begging for an English release or an anime adaptation of some kind of Spirits.
I've read a few scans. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Me personally, I would also love to see Kamen Rider Gaia, the 2-part light novel series based on Shotaro Ishinomori's final project before he died. I'd love for that to get adapted in some way, but
I'd want to take another swing at Kamen Rider Shin.
Oh yeah, like a follow up to the Shin Prologue movie.
Just either a follow up or just like a reimagine, because all the I remember when we talked about it on the review did on my show back in the day, but again, if you've ever seen for the folks at home, if you've ever seen The Fly 2, that's what I wanted the movie to be. Mm-hmm. But instead, unfortunately, again, not even in a bad way, but Kamen Rider Shin at its most offensive areas is boring. That's where a lot of those movies fall apart, where it wastes a lot of its time doing nothing, like actually nothing, and then the fight happens and you're like, wait, that's it?
I will say I really like the...
Go watch our friend Davis. We have too many D friends here. Davis's video about Kamen Rider Shin. He'll express our same frustrations.
And then buy it on Blu-ray from Media Blasters, where Matt Burkett does an amazing commentary for it, alongside Kevin Derendorf.
Plug.
All right, so moving on ahead to the main topic at hand.
We're going to fight you someday.
We're going to be talking about Super Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity.
Chaku!
No, it's Jochaku!
They don't deserve the rest of it.
So, this was the news.
Is it Gavan or Patrick Galvin?
It's Patrick Galvin. That's what it is.
It's Captain Chaku. That's what it is.
Captain Chaku from, what was it? Beast Morphers? Yeah. Captain Chaku Infinity.
Dude, if Captain Chaku showed up in Gavan Infinity, that'd be so fucking sick. Like, you think it's classic Gavan or Gavan? No, that's based on the second Gavan from the movie.
Type G, yeah.
So if Type G Gavan showed up and then he took off his helmet, just that half robot man, be like, I am Commander Chaku, and people be like, ah! Like, I'd
Chaku'd all over my pants.
I would run head first into traffic. Because nothing's ever going to get better than that.
I would love it if they teased the original Gavan in this show, and then it turns out he takes off the helmet, turns out to be Captain Chaku.
What if one of them pulls them aside and says, like, well, how did you get your powers? He's like, well, this one day I met a ghost, and then I became a Beetleborg. Then became a metal hero.
Dude, fucking Flabber in showing up in Gavan Infinity.
I would love to see the anime, like, because a lot of the characters from like the original Toku came over to the States as bad guys and Beetleborgs. But like Flabber and those dickheads were all original. It'd be so sick if they readapted it and made their version of Flabber, and he's like this insane, crazy drag queen that's like hype as fuck, and people are like, "Whoa, we're way into Flabber now."
I mean, honestly, I can see that happening with the Boom comics, given that they're currently.
Like, here's the thing: like, I could easily see Flabber just being like voiced by Dio or some shit. Like,
fuck yeah!
Like, he's a real idiot, like he normally is, but like he just looks crazy.
I can totally see that. This makes too
Also,
much
do you
sense.
see how we're just like not getting into Gavan because of how fucking boring it is?
Yes. Okay. So
sorry. Anyways, please.
Let me just
please,
introduce
please,
this. Let me just
before I tear it apart.
Yes. Let me just introduce it. So Gavan. It's the tokusatsu show that's replacing Super Sentai this year. It's supposedly the first in a brand new franchise called Project Red. It's essentially sort of a reinterpretation of the original Space Sheriff Gavan, which was its own franchise back in the day that kickstarted the Metal Hero franchise, which led to which was later adapted into VR Troopers and Big Bad Beetleborgs in the United States.
Because the semi-sequel series to Gavan is what, Sheridan and Sharavan? Right?
I think it was Sharavan and Scheider. It was
Scheider. That's what. Sharavan and Scheider.
Yeah, the red one and the blue one. So they reinterpret it, and even though this is clearly coded in so much Metal Heroes aesthetics and Metal Heroes references, this is apparently not considered, according to Toei, not considered part of the Metal Hero series. Rather, which
really shows.
Yeah, so so going into this, we tried to watch all the episodes that have come out until this point, which I have seen the first.
Tried.
He
forced us.
He beat us. Shut up, David.
I did it willingly.
We gave you enough time, David.
Yeah, you had 2 weeks.
I had to binge the last 7 episodes for the last 24 hours.
That was your mistake, asshole. We gave you weeks.
It was. I'm a procrastinator.
You're more like a procrastinator.
Yeah, but I think, but we'll get into this again. But I think the Mobile Night Police is going to be the actual next Metal Hero series, and boy, does it look like a Metal Hero series.
What is that, by the way? I'm curious.
It's called Mobile Night Police. I'm not sure if I should have photo. You can put it in maybe the episode description.
Let's see here.
But these look like there's 2 of them right now, and they basically look like Beetleborgs, like the Kabuto soldiers.
Yeah. Just like Anders tried to Borg us with this show.
Yes, it's a good one.
Okay. I'm looking at them right now. Mobile Night Police. It's going to be a short film project, short film and music video project. Okay, this is interesting.
But they couldn't look. But again, if you look at those guys, like I'm going to put it in our little chat here, and you can get it posted for the show notes and stuff. But if you look at all 4 of these guys in a row, which one looks like an actual Metal Hero? It's Metal Knight.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing this.
Mobile Nightman.
So I'm reading this more clearly. Toei does not consider this a reboot, even though that's exactly what it is.
Well, no, they're not.
There's too much similarity to fucking Sentai.
They're not considering this a Metal Hero show. They consider it Project Red, and that tells me something. And that's going to be the big complaint that I have for this show, and that is.
Are you sure? Mm-hmm. Are you sure? Because Gavan Infinity is being categorized as a sub-series called Project Red in the same way that Gavan, Sherivan, and Scheider are categorized as the Space Sheriff trilogy, but they're still part of Metal Heroes.
I believe the reason why they do not consider it part of Metal Heroes is because they don't want people to have the expectations that it's going to be just Metal Heroes going forward. And that's
the expectations I
got. But it's so point. It's so weird because it's like, well, what expectations do you want us to have? And
but that's also very true.
Yeah, and that tells me that, and this is going to be a thing that I noticed throughout the entire show, and that is clearly Gavan Infinity was not made, when they were making the last Super Sentai series,
they had no plan.
Yeah, number 1 Sentai Gojuger. They did not go into Gojuger with the mindset that this is going to be the last Super Sentai series ever, and we're going to go
much like Dragon Ball Z into GT, there was no pre-plan. It kind of just let it hang for a few months, and they're like, well, we're doing something else.
Yeah. So,
and there was no sub material to get it to lead you into it. It just kind of started.
Right. To the point where, like, they had the weird transition where normally when one Super Sentai ends and another one begins, they have a cute little video where the Red Ranger from the last show, like, does a handshake or, passes the torch to the next Red Ranger. Here, they didn't even do that. Instead, it's just, here's a 5-second clip of Gavan Infinity grabbing a universe ring with his logo on it and then just walk fucking off.
Wait, and again, it's crazy because the promo images for Gavan Infinity made it out to be a way different show than it turned out to be.
Yes, I would say that this is the same style.
Like, I was expecting like something brutal. Like, again, I was expecting something like Garage Hero, like something like kind of brutal, like not like violent like Amazon's would be, but like a little more mature. Like they look like they were like aiming for something where it's like this is something like cool and new, but then like once we get into the actual show structure, like this is real dumb. Yeah, not in an endearing way. Unfortunately. Yeah, the teasers really don't sell you on what the show is actually like. And I would say, like, maybe they were just copying off the success of Zet's with its teaser trailers, which, even though Zet's somewhat lived up to, like...
Yes, I would definitely say that.
Actually is.
Yeah.
Zet's, like, looked cool, and then he's, like, actually really cool.
Yeah, that's very true, yes.
By being fucking scary.
Yes, honestly, yeah, and he does have moments where he does come off that way. But yeah, not so much with Gavan. And it's clear that throughout the 7 episodes, or 8 episodes in my case, 7 episodes for Frank and David here, it's clear that they did not have a solid plan going into Gavan Infinity. Which is unfortunate, but I said it before and I'll say it again. I'm giving them a lot of slack here. Yeah. There obviously some of it has to do with, but obviously my tastes have evolved. So like a lot of the Sentai toyetic stuff, even in Monochrome, I'm just not into. Same, yeah. I just don't dig it. But the fact that like it's been so long, it's for me, I'm like, what am I expecting? Like much like what David was saying, it's like, what do I expect out of a Metal Hero series? Like what do I actually want? Right, and what it obviously was not this. If this was a Sentai, I'd be like, okay, this is fine. But when I'm thinking of what the expectation with those teaser images had, and then kind of what I'm getting in the unstructured, kind of sloppy nature of it, I'm like, man, this has had a little more time to cook. Yeah, and it's clear that they're sort of like making stuff up on the fly, and that it's trying to do too many things at once. I feel like it's trying to cater to the Super Sentai crowd, but also try something new. But also trying to rely on a nostalgic IP, but also not committing 100% to said IP. So you're just... I remember what I said about it last time. I said they're doing too much and yet not enough at the same time. Right. Yeah, I feel like that's a great summarization of Gavan. And yeah, you can even tell that with the toys themselves. They're trying to do a weird thing where the Morpher, well, for lack of a better term, the Morpher, the Megazord, and the weapon are all the same toy. And they did do that with Gojuger, but it made sense in Gojuger because you can see the characters fiddling around and transforming their henshin devices in order to pilot the giant robot, which here... And also the MacGuffin of the show also has an interactive element that's its own separate collectible that they're trying to push, it just comes off very awkward. Right, because like Gojuger, you had the universe rings, and the rings, like, there's sort of like a wedding theme throughout Gojuger that makes sense for the rings to be like, if they literally say engage when they activate their universe warrior rings. But here, it's like they force these emo gears, these little like capsule, little mighty beans looking characters. And they're fine for whatever that is, because again, I'm gonna give, like I said, another benefit of the doubt, because again, I'm not a child, so like that just doesn't appeal to me. Yeah. But again, they made it into like these little characters where it's like, what, you're not even gonna explain this? What is the and then it's gone. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it introduced a whole ton that I don't even have time to process, and they're just like, I was like, well, there's more to do. I'm like, it's like, okay. It's the embodiment of emotions, and this is what we use to power our shit. Like, I guess it's what we use to power up our weapons. Like, okay, thanks. And here's Maku Space. What's Maku Space? It's evil, negative emotions. Okay. And also, mind you, too, the little they're not characters. They don't. They're minions. They're like minions. But they're not even that. They just pop up and go, emo! and then kind of like
it's the fucking Gaia memories from Double, but they talk. That's it.
Yes, yeah. They're collectible tchotchkes, but they make cute little noises instead.
So fucking keep yourself there.
And what else? They got
nothing cute about that piece of fucking shit.
They had like the.
No, I'm going to try to be nice.
David, what are your initial thoughts so far on Gavan Infinity?
I like it so far, even though you forced me to watch it for the last 24 hours.
Well, excuse me for trying to get my friend here to be cultured.
Seriously though, but so far I actually like what they're doing so far. Well, I like the first 6 episodes. Now episode 7 it took them that long to finally get to the point.
Yeah.
Because at first I thought the show was just going to be them going from case to case.
Yeah.
Like a detective, an investigator.
Mm-hmm.
I will give them this though, if I'm just saying positives, like what Dave was saying, is like some of the background detective stuff and stuff. There's some cool shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
It just, like I said, they're just stumbling around it.
Yeah, it's like it's doing enough to say, okay, we know what they're doing, we know why they're here, we know what they're doing, but do I care about what's happening?
Yeah, and that's the toughest part.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, we got a universe where bugs and humans live side by side as the dominant species on Earth.
And how he's already met an alternate version of like the people he works with, and he kind of just was like, well, okay. Like, the fact that that got glossed over so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I totally forgot that happened, yeah. Yeah,
like, literally, like, these people meet themselves from another universe, and they're not, like, freaked out. They're just like, neat, and then move on.
Right. They don't even touch that in the majority of the universes they go in. And it's clear that they have, like, 3 Gavans, 3 universes in particular. So this is a multiverse show, which already you're asking a lot. You're taking on a huge responsibility when you're introducing a multiverse right out of the fucking gates.
Technically 5 if you count the ant and the black one.
Yes, well, the black one he comes from Gavan Infinity's universe. So technically,
we might have to change the way we're describing this one.
Sorry, Death Gavan. Death Gavan comes from Gavan. The main universe. So there's 4 universes that they've established so far. We've had the red one, the silver one, the gold one, and the ant one. And yes, there is an ant Gavan for those who don't know, who haven't seen the show.
I feel like that's the only time that anybody stateside has watched Gavan Infinity is to see that one clip.
And honestly, I feel like that, like, if they did more like out there goofy shit like that.
Well, that's what I was expecting when they were talking about multi-universe. And so far, the ones we've met are all humans.
Except
the fact that one was the fact. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
human,
like the fact, like, it's if again, much like with Power Rangers, like if they had like an alien Gavan, like an actual alien, like, like even if it was like cheap Star Trek, like just had frills on their neck or like weird nose ridges. The fact that they're not quote unquote human would make it a little interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like I was expecting like something like that, or like the two girl detectives. I was expecting them to be like like fusion dance, like we become one person, like something unique about them that would make them different.
I can only presume it's probably a budget thing for them because like essentially all 3 outside of the bug universe, Gavan Infinity, Bushido, and Luminous, their universes aren't really all that different from the main universe that Infinity lives in. So it kind of makes me question why even bother making this a multiverse show to begin with.
That's also what was confusing too, is that like there's not much of a big old thing to do with like they easily, again, they could have, especially the way they're treating the role of a space sheriff, because again, he's like not like independent. He takes orders, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the other Gavin, he felt like he had more what's the word, agency.
Because
this one he's kind of again, he has to keep up appearances, but at the same time, it's not like they're like, oh, I'm glad you're her. Like he's kind of like a Marty McFly ass dude. Like not like he's a slacker, but like it's not the type of guy where like, oh shit, this guy's here. We got to all like step up our game because Gavan just showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like he's no, other than him having fantastical powers, he feels like he could be like told like, hey, go get me a coffee, and he would like be like, yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have, like, you know, till recently, I just don't feel like he's, like, leader material, which, again, he'll probably grow into that.
Right,
but,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, him as a guy being this Gavan, like, special sheriff, the fact that it's just him, but it's not like, nothing's shown me so far until probably what we're probably going to get to, showing me, like, this should be the guy.
Right, right. It's like, why is this the Gavan that we are following? And I remember with episode 1, they were teasing at a darker backstory that we had like a 2-second flashback of him with like his deceased mentor. And
yeah, like that gave us some stuff.
Yeah, and that doesn't get followed up until episode 7, where you realize, oh, his mentor was killed by the previous Gavan of his universe, Death Gavan.
Yeah, that's why, again, I feel like they all should be in the same universe together. Because with the other ones being there, it makes more sense to have him just kind of be sort of average compared to the other two. It's like, oh yeah, because there's these other two Gavans in other districts, you know, like. So we're all used to having this kind of guy around.
Yeah, instead they treated really weird. So like in his universe, in Infinity's universe, Reggie, the main character, Gavan is supposed to be like a secret identity sort of deal, even among the police force in this world.
Which again makes it's like the RoboCop thing, but like dumber.
Yeah, it's like why is it a secret? And apparently they don't explain until like episode 2 or 3, I think, where it's a secret because the technology that they use, they want to keep it out of the hands of evil people, which I guess that's what like Death Gavan is for. Like he's there to be like, oh, here's what happens when you give someone like him, you know, this kind of interdimensional multiverse technology. But even still, it just comes off awkward, especially in episode 1, where you have these like Bulk and Skull like comic relief characters who are taking the credit for Reggie's work, taking down criminals, and you're like, wait, why are they treating him like shit?
That's what I'm saying. And it's also like he's doing these things in public when he's
transforming in public.
Like he shows up as himself, does his big like, you know, Jochaku thing. Lots of people see him.
Yes.
You know, there's no people there, but like, it's not like he's in a hit. It's like he's behind a building or in like an open field. It's like, it's the modern day people. Someone could be like, hey, what the fuck's going on over there?
Oh, yeah, and criminals, they're like, he's transforming in front of criminals, so obviously they're going to talk.
Yeah, like, with the criminals when they're taking was like, hey, that's Reiji. Did you guys know that? I saw him with my own eyes before he beat my shit in. That's Reiji. Here's a photo.
Stop resisting! It starts caving his skull in.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, there's no reason for it to be a secret.
Yeah. And here's the thing, it's like once we get to the other universes, none of the Gavans have secret identities as well. So the whole secret identity deal, it's almost like it was like made for the sake of forced drama, which makes no sense at all. So you have these like comic relief Bulk and Skull characters who are again like
I feel like there's gonna be a dramatic turn with them. I can already see it. Like something's gonna happen to like the human or the robot and be like, that's my brother. Yeah.
It's like, what was it? The episode 7, they established that Reggie and those guys all went to the academy together. So like they finally established some shared history between the two of them.
Well, yeah, because like in the episodes leading up to like they're like severe assholes to him.
Yeah, and we don't know why.
In a very bizarre way where it's like there's no reason like other than this, like he should kill them. Like
yeah, and
this is unacceptable behavior.
And, like, it does lead to, like, one funny moment where, like, supposedly, like, publicly, Reggie is supposed to be in the documentation division. So he to keep up appearances, the one time we see him do so, he's, like, carrying a bunch of papers down the hallway just to keep up the illusion. But it's, like, outside of that one scene, there's just no reason for, like, that's the only time the whole, oh, you gotta keep up appearances, you gotta keep up a secret identity.
And from them, they're the first two that should know this.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for the two main characters who know about Reggie's status as Gavan, you have Agi, who is like this, like, half android, half AI hologram, hologram girl.
It's that girl from fucking, what is it, Geats or whatever? I think. No.
Oh,
Geats,
01?
01, yeah. It's literally that character.
Yeah, it's like, yes, but she's like a lot more hyper and chipper and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you have his colonel, like the guy who gives him orders, and
who's okay.
He's just the guy in the chair giving out orders, and Agi, she's the girl who gives expositions while having a big old smile on her face. So to me, they don't really do a whole lot in giving me any sense of what Reggie is like or what his
and what makes this tough too is, like you're saying, is the fact that we're on episode 8 and I still like don't find my because with most of these shows by now, like because we've had character centric episodes, but like I still feel like disconnected from these guys.
Right, because like episode 8, I know you guys haven't seen episode 8, but it's another Bushido episode, and he grew on me like so a little bit, but at the same time, like still not really, because again he's our trademark Blue Ranger, the rival type who's your friend. Yeah.
But like I've just seen it done better.
Yeah. Anyways, David, what are your thoughts so far in terms of like Reggie specifically?
You have a favorite yet?
Repeat the question.
What
are your thoughts on our main protagonist Reggie, as well as his relationship to the other characters in the show
and the other Gavans?
Yeah, the other Gavans.
He feels like any other tokusatsu protagonist, so I didn't really put much stock in it. Mm-hmm. The one thing I like that they didn't do is he's not one of those protagonists that says things like, "I'm fighting just to make her smile." You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you like this ultra cheesy dialogue, or like Smayaru Ultraman trigger shit.
Oh my god, that's also the vibe I got from him too. I'm like, no.
I mean, it's still cheesy, but I feel like it's more contained than most tokusatsu shows.
Right, and it's not like he's one of those idiot Red Rangers, where like those hot-blooded shonen protagonists. He's not like written to be like a Naruto or a Goku.
He's not insufferable. Like I said, again, not enough. Too much, but not enough. The most I can say is like I feel just like disappointed. I'm like, come on, guys.
Like he's passable. I feel like he's passable, but it's not enough to keep me invested.
They're treading lightly with this character.
Yeah. And they do show like his whole, every Gavan has a main emotion, an emo gear. For him, it's rage. Bushido, it's sorrow. And for Luminous, it's happiness. And that's supposed to be like their trademark emotion. And Reggie doesn't have a whole, I know I'm pronouncing it like it's American. It's Reggie. It's just how I'm speaking, like naturally talking. So Reggie, his emo gear is rage, and you don't see a whole lot of said rage. He's just very chill, calm, and composed for most of the show until episode 7, where you see like he's just bursting with anger and just rushes in without thinking things first or mapping things out clearly, and then ends up getting his ass kicked by Death Gavan. So it shows that they have finally set up a character arc for him, but still, it feels like something that should have been planned out earlier. But for all I know, maybe that was just something they were still trying to figure out as they were making the show. That's
what I'm saying. It really, again, all kind of ties back to like they are figuring out as they go along. Hence why a lot of characters again don't feel fleshed out, or the subplots they're at again just stop happening because they're like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I
would definitely say, like, for me, the character I feel the most invested in would be Gavan Bushido.
Right, you wish it was.
Honestly, it's because like he feels the most like a Kamen Rider protagonist. He's a character. He
feels like Shikenja or whatever, the Samurai Rangers.
Yeah, like he feels like
he literally just the Blue Ranger from that show.
Yeah, basically he is a character who is not human, but wants to be human and wants to understand what it's...
He wants to Detroit become human.
Yeah, he wants to know what it means to be human. And I do like...
Electric sheep.
Yeah. And it's interesting, like the episode 8, they finally have like an interaction between him and Agi, and he acknowledges the fact that, hey, you're an artificial creation like me, but you seem to be more capable of emotions than I am. To which Agi was like, no, actually, you are more than capable of emotions. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, like again, good moments, decent moments. Like I will give them that. Like again, if I'm going to give this show praises, which we'll probably give them our thoughts, I'll say it here and say it now. The show has like they're not phoning it in. I'll say it that way. Like I may not the most enjoy what they're doing, but I will not say they're not shitting the bed when it comes to acting.
Right, they're clearly trying to make the most out of a very unorthodox situation here.
Yeah, like the acting's good, the music's been fine, like the choreography good as usual. Like no complaints there. It just the forces that be are against them so hard.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. I know you had you like while I enjoyed Bushido, you really enjoyed the Luminous girls.
Yeah, I think a lot of it would have came with is because again, I love a team dynamic, especially even in like later Heisei writers when they start giving them like friends who also could become writers or were like on the same accord with them. I always dug that sort of relationship. They're right from jump when they started talking. I was like, I get these two. I know exactly kind of what they're about. Like their motivations and their personalities came clear because they could bounce off each other.
That's very true.
So if one spoke, I instantly knew like, oh, this is the peppy one. This one's the more serious one because one would talk about the other and vice versa. As opposed with Reggie and Bushido, they had no one to talk to for their handful of scenes together for the first couple of instances. We only knew about Bushido in his later episode when we met his his
superior,
his superior,
his Misato, essentially.
And then that's what made me like I wouldn't say like Bushido better, but like I was like, okay, I get him now.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen until like what 2 episodes later.
Yeah.
But with the and also again. Some of the creativity behind her moves were like I felt were a little more thought out too.
Yeah,
still felt very Kamen Rider, but like when she used her like super gun and used a drill power up to like anchor herself to the ground to fire it, I'm like that's a cool, clever thing.
Yeah,
and her because isn't her sidekick like the alternate version of the robot?
Alternate version of the robot.
Robot girl. The two girls aren't they the same person?
No, they're not the same person. I don't think so anyways. I know that Agi shows up and they're both like, oh my god, it's a hologram person just popped up in front of us.
That's what it was.
And like, because like the other, like the one who turns into Gavan Luminous, she's a scientist who studies emo gears. And so she's all about technology and she just geeks out over the presence of Agi. And also I mentioned you, that's also what's interesting too is that the dorky one is the superhero and the cool tough one you think would be the hero is not. Right, I do like that subversion.
Which again, I need to this is a plug for Andres to remind him to watch it with me, but a plug to you folks. If you like that kind of dynamic where the unexpected one is the hero and the cool one is not the hero, watch Iron King. It's an old tokusatsu show that I think I mentioned before where the main character is is literally looks like fucking what's his name Jiraiya from Kaku Ranger, where he's wearing like a cowboy hat. He's a cool, smooth talking dude. He like fights the monster. He has no powers whatsoever, but he will throw like grenades and bombs and shoot guns at the monsters. Meanwhile, his buddy is like this like stoned out like hippie dude that always is like, hey man, like everything's chill, and he usually like stumbles around and falls back. But then when the cool guy is like away, he becomes the giant Ultraman hero type and is like super confident and serious about everything. But then when his homie shows back up, he's like, nah, man, sorry, my B. Like, it's a really cool dynamic because it's something you don't see that often, if not ever. So it was cool to see that kind of that subversion return where the kind of goofy, dorky one is actually like the main hero of that team.
That is true, yeah. Let's see. David, what are your thoughts, personal thoughts, on the other two Gavans, mainly Bushido and Luminous?
I like Bushido and Luminous. I don't know. They come off as that generic, preppy Japanese character you see a lot in tokusatsu and anime. They kind of remind me of that entire Sentai crew where... What was the one where they all transformed into jungle animals?
There was a few of those.
I think Ju-Oger?
Or was it
that one?
The newer one.
The Minecraft cubes, right?
It's been years since I've seen two.
Is it the one where it's one where their human forms kind of look like fursuits?
I remember it's the one where the dude who's supposed to be the lion looks like a damn hippie.
Oh, with the dreadlocks?
I think about...
Yes. Hold up, I'm looking it up.
But yeah, no, actually, what's funny, it's funny you mentioned that we both had the opposite liking of characters. I think it's because, like, I'm so used to the Bushido-style character that I found the other character more refreshing, is where you were so used to the other type and you like Bushido more. But which I like, because, again, I definitely see the merits of both. So I'm glad we both kind of had a different opinion on that one.
I guess maybe it just boils down to, like, rather than, like, these characters are essentially, like, stock archetypes for all three of them, you know, generic hero protagonist, generic preppy protagonist, generic stoic protagonist. So it's like, rather than trying to do something new, they're trying to play it very safe by using very familiar character archetypes.
Oh yeah, we should talk about their outfit designs too, before, as we sort of coming for a landing here.
Yeah. Now, I know you had a lot of shit to say about these outfits, but before you say that, I want to say that I love the outfits. I dig the outfits a lot, and I think, for me, the chrome armor is enough to distinguish themselves from Power Rangers' spandex
You go straight to hell.
Fuck you, I don't care.
Straight to hell.
All right. Well, okay. Go at it.
No, David first.
All right. David, go at it.
I have a lot to say.
Over the armor?
Yeah, like overall, like did you dig it? Did you think it was cool? Like, liked it, disliked it?
Yeah, I liked it. I like the armor because spandex belonged to Super Sentai and Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
The armor belongs to Metal Heroes.
Mm-hmm. I would say, like, when it comes to Kamen Rider, they also have armor, but I would say it's much more like matted armor as opposed to like the shinier style that Metal Heroes tend to go for. Well,
the Showa era of Kamen Rider is really more modeled after motorcycle riders.
Because, more leather armor. Yeah.
It's the post Heisei era, starting with Kuga, where they started emphasizing armor over motorcycle bikers.
And then, like, once you get into the second phase of Heisei, like from Double onwards, then
let's wear a refrigerator on our body.
Yes, exactly. That's when it starts giving it that plastic toyetic look to them. But I do feel, but I do feel like with Gavan, I feel like it's an aesthetic that, at the very least, is something of its own to stand out with, and that's an aesthetic that is admittedly borrowed from the very franchise that they've been using its name and iconography from. Anyways, Frank.
Oh boy, here we go. All right. Okay, so hear me out. It's not that I hate these outfits, is that, again, much like I mentioned before, and I'll say it to the day I die, they're doing too much and yet not enough with these outfits. My biggest complaint, and it's a lot of, again, is aesthetically, is that there is too much bodysuit, not enough armor. So, because again, I could excuse the chrome if it didn't stand out like a sore thumb as much against it didn't contrast so harshly with the pure black bodysuit that doesn't have any real definition to it. And as Ajay knows before too, they have nothing covering their backside either. Not much like the other Gavan didn't, but like a lot of the armor pieces, like they don't have like the little pelvic armor plating like a classic Metal Hero did. It just, there's some strange changes to it that just make it feel off. And again, that really lends itself to they had to rush these outfits. Same with the helmets. They have this weird visor cutting like right in the middle of the helmet that is kind of distracting. Again, it works with Luminous because hers does a little thing when she like transforms or whatever. It does like a little like fun emote. But again, the look of it just doesn't. Something about it doesn't feel right. Just because like it's head shaped weird. Like again, Gavan looked like he was like a robot man. Like it looked like again like RoboCop. Like it had like this very like, you know, what a sheriff like ranger cop policeman would look like. Where this one, again, it just looks kind of like a weird like vaporwave like biker helmet. It just, I don't know, something about it again just doesn't rub me right. And also with the old Gavan costumes and stuff, again, he had like circuit boards across his chest that would light up. They kind of do that here, but like I don't know. There's something about it. I think too is because again, it's not an armored. It's armor thing still going on to him via like the teleporter, but like that's also his gun. Like It just so there's like I said, they're doing so much, but not enough in the parts that count.
Yeah, I will definitely agree.
And that's what bothers me. Again, it's like being disappointed in like in your kid. It's like you had it all. God damn,
you could have been a contender.
No, for real. Like if you were just,
you could have been somebody.
Nip up and fly right. Come on.
I will definitely agree that the gun looks absolutely stupid. I don't know it. I get
Evil Gavan. He looked cool, but that's because his outfit's all black.
Yeah.
With the accents.
Yeah.
And again, that works because it's a uniform color, and then the color gradient glows off when he does his little power, which I'm like, that's a cool little reveal. If the other Gavans worked in a similar vein, or were more of their base color and glowed a different color or something, so, just something like that. I think it's the uniformity and then the lack thereof, when just comes their overall aesthetic. I just
yeah, I get that. Here's the thing, I don't understand, like. I get from a economic
also
reason.
they're too boxy up top. I think that's something because again, if you look at Mobile Knight compared to the Gavan thing, he has big cool shoulder pads. Gavan looks like a big triangle in the top.
That is true. I can definitely see that. I will definitely say this. I love how flexible these suits are, because I will give them praise to the action scenes.
Oh yeah, no complaints there. Again, I'll give it flowers where it deserves it.
Like, even though, here's the thing, you can definitely notice this, where they don't do a whole lot of on-location shoots. A lot of it is like green screen stuff, or like they're in the forest, or they're clearly
parking lot,
the Toei parking lot, the Toei back lot. Like, when
they're in the fucking back rooms, baby.
They took away my practical effects, my precious tokusatsu effects.
Here's the funny thing,
and then randomly that giant dragon in the middle of the fucking
forest
outskirts of town.
Yeah.
That was probably like that. I almost stopped watching it. Like I was like, no, you're crazy. You're crazy
and then
for watching.
Episode 7 was straight up a Gundam fight with two CG giant robots shooting at each other in space.
At least they're in space and fighting. Where the other one, it's like you went out to a park and you looked up and a giant dragon just kind of like, not even menacing. He just kind of annoyed, hovering, not doing anything else. He could go anywhere he wants.
Yeah.
He just kind of like, meh.
Oh, or here's the funny thing.
One fireball at the ground.
I forgot if this was episode 5 or 6, where it's like they were chasing after an alien mom and daughter, and the daughter is in a ship, but the ship falls down a cliff, and it's about to fall off another cliff. So they bring out the giant robot just so we can attach a crane arm to slowly hook the crane to the hook to the ship and bring it and like carry it over the cliff again. It's like, you're a transforming ship. Just fly next to it and jump off and get the girl from the cliff. You don't have to do this crane arm bullshit just to advertise the toy.
It's like Superman almost falling off a building and grabbing the ledge. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. He's like, you can fly to her. You don't need this crane.
That's what I'm saying. Like, whenever I see each other, I'm like, what are you doing?
So, like,
you're embarrassing me.
So that's the thing I've noticed. It's like, they don't have any monster suits except the one. It's the one. This is the biggest criticism, and that's like the last.
It's been the one.
Yeah, it's just been
8 episodes.
For 8 episodes, you just get one fucking monster suit with the only difference is the arms. Now, here's the thing. I've come to realize that in modern Kamen Rider, at the very least, modern Kamen Rider, they would often share the same legs between all the different kaijins. And I get that. They don't have the budget like they used to back then. Costs are getting higher, perhaps, inflation, all that stuff. So I get why the kaijin would share the same legs between different outfits. But here, I
do wish they changed the colors at least. If they at least would like spray paint the suit like green one episode, red another. You know? Like,
that's
even though it's still cheap. At least it can be like, at least it looks a little different. It's not just the actual same thing.
Right, and honestly, that's what Zets does. You know, Zets, they have a character with like paint splatters that are like, say, blue and red, and the next kaijin, he has the same paint splatters on his legs, but they're green and yellow. And so like they'll have like, for each monster, they'll have like 3 pairs of legs to swap between. And I get that because most kids are going to pay attention to the top half than the bottom half. But for here, it's super obvious that it's the same monster but with different arms each time. And weirdly enough, for the Megazord, lack of a better term, the Megazord battles, I don't think we've yet to have an episode where you see the physical suit fight another physical suit. The physical suit is either doing something on its own, like the crane bullshit, or running down a hallway, or fighting a CG dragon. That's the thing. It's always by itself. It's the only suit being used at that moment.
Yeah, no, but also, again, the robot's just a weird thing to have there.
Yeah, and I feel like the robot itself...
It also feels like the robot should have been a reveal for, episode, 15 or something like that, where it's like, oh, that's actually a robot.
Yeah, I feel like the robot itself should have, it feels like a carryover from the Super Sentai formula. Granted... And
also, the Gavan, the whatever machine should look like him. I don't know, that's just a me thing. I feel like it should look like him.
Yeah,
because it doesn't look like anything related to things we've seen in the show.
Right. It's
if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a very box standard robot design. That's
there's no motif associated. Again, it's not even red.
Right. It's just mainly there to have multicolored arm and head attachments that then give it a new look and feel for it, I suppose. But, that just goes to, the main gimmick of it. It's from an economic standpoint, I wanted to get into this earlier. It's clear that they were trying to take a page from Gojuger by making, when it comes to Kamen Rider, the main toy that they want to sell are the belts. And that's the one item that every kid is going to ask their mom for Christmas. When it comes to Super Sentai, it was always just what is the main toy that you're going to sell? Is it the heroes? Is it the morphers? Or is it the Megazord? And I believe it was the Megazord. So when it came to Gojuger...
God, as a kid, God damn it.
They try to split the difference by saying, okay, the morpher, the weapon, the Megazord, it's all the same toy. That way kids can purchase one item instead of being forced to choose among 3 items, resulting in lower toy sales. That was their thing.
Which can work, but they designed it so shit.
Yeah.
Because look at literally they could have just made a phone call. It's hey, Takara, hook us up with a decent design that works.
Oh, I doubt Bandai would allow that.
Here's the thing, they would. They did it with Super Samurai. They'll do it again.
Well, let's see. When it came to, with this show, they try to do the same thing where the morpher is the gun and the gun is the robot for kids. Again, kids don't have to pick and choose. They can just get the one, all-in-one toy. But it's apparently according to reports, toy sales have been lackluster in Japan because kids are ignoring the Gavan Infinity toys because they don't know what the fuck a Gavan is. Meanwhile,
but also the color of said gun is gray. It's a gray, chalky white. It's not colorful for a child. And I mean the guys themselves, sure, a kid would love that, but you show them that blocky chunk of shit, they'd be like, what is this?
Yeah. Meanwhile, the only people who recognize Gavan Infinity on the toy shelves are 50-year-olds who grew up on the original series, but obviously they're not the demographic to buy shit.
And they're spitting on the toys, but
yeah. Kids these days, they don't know the true Gavan. And we have seen images of what the Blue Dragon robot is going to be. Dole, they are bringing the Blue Dragon back at some point as an attachment for the big gray robot. But as Frank pointed out on Facebook, you pointed out the phallic nature of the robot once it's transformed. And once you pointed that out, Frank, I could not unsee it.
It looks like a Pepe. It's no good. Again, here's the thing. Normally, I don't go for low hanging fruit, but no, it. It's because the original robot was dumb as it is. It was just a block with a fucking dragon head. It's like Guy King's dragon robot.
Oh yeah, Daikumaru, yeah.
Which again was the fuck is that? Get that out of here. but this one, but I think again, it's the fact that it turns into something. They're stop that.
Now, You know what?
Neck so long.
Oh, it was what was it that clip that Jobby always uses in his reviews? That's a penis.
That's
Or what was it, to quote Cinema Snob? That's a dick.
That's what it is. That's a dick.
David, if you were a kid, would you purchase any of these toys that we have been talking about so far?
I'm actually tempted to buy the red Gavan once it becomes available. I like that design.
I agree with you too.
At first, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice the red. I was just happy that we got a new
or the
Gavan
project
design, and then people were saying it's not silver like the original, and then I couldn't unsee it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's red, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's hence the name, Project Red.
Although here's something that you're never going to unsee. He has pelvis armor. He has like a crotch armor in the front, but nothing in the back. Pretending.
That's what I was saying earlier about his aesthetic. Again, it's not cohesive throughout the design. So again, you have a large area of just blank like material.
Yeah, turn it around. It's just black spandex.
Again, it feels like a cheap action figure where again they didn't put the paint detail on the back.
Yeah, like modern Ultraman figures.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a practical reason so he can wipe his ass.
No, it's dumb.
No? I know Ben Affleck and Christian Bale would have appreciated that.
Yeah, but I don't respect them.
Okay, and now let's talk about the stupidest thing this show has, and that is the emo gears, which I feel like aesthetically do not match anything. Like, say what you will about the robots, about the Megazord design and whatnot, I feel like the emo gears stick out like a sore thumb compared to everything else this show is trying to sell.
They kind of remind me of some of the recent Ultraman shows of the last 10 years where they use toys to transform, and it's just annoying. You can tell what they're doing. It's for toy purposes, to marketing purposes, and I don't fuck with that.
Do you remember Gav, the Kamen Rider Gav, the candy-themed Kamen Rider?
What?
That's the most recent one.
Yeah, it was last year's Kamen Rider before sets.
I haven't seen it, but
okay.
Now I know what you're talking about.
You can't tell from the main writer, but everyone else are like, oh, that's fucking food.
Yeah. He turns into potato chips and marshmallows.
What's that one called? Bitch, is this cake?
Yeah.
So it's not like Kamen Rider.
There's a character that's cake.
Apparently, David, it's a really good show with really good writing and drama and all that shit.
You think the designs do look cool?
It just has a really stupid theme.
Gav. You're talking about Gav, right?
Yes, Gav.
I think Gaim was a little dumber.
I would
really, because it gets dark after the first few episodes.
Apparently that's the case with Gav as well.
Huh.
But
new diabetes, baby.
But the reason why I bring up Gav is because its power-ups are these little candy goblin cutesy monsters. And so, like, you put the little cutesy candy monster into the belt. The belt is a mouth with teeth that chomps on it, and it goes om nom nom, and then he gets a power-up. So, like, I feel like turning I think Gav established having these power-ups be living cutesy minion looking characters, and I think they were trying to replicate that success with these emo gears, and I don't like it.
It feels like a corporate decision way from the top rather than who's ever show running these shows.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I didn't like it 10 years ago. I still don't like it now.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately a thing with modern tokusatsu. Is like, as Frank mentioned before, these are just like modern tropes that are just associated with the franchise now, because it's like they're more dependent.
That's why I'm not trying to be. That's why I try not to be too harsh about some of the gimmicks, because it's clearly not meant for me, and I'm fine with that.
The thing is,
I'm just gonna let that go.
Yeah. The fact is, like, the reality is they're more reliant on toy sales.
I don't have to like it, but I won't like shit all over it.
Yeah,
that's too easy.
True. I mean, at the very least, I just don't want my power-ups to talk and constantly speak like Pokemon.
Again, choose one. That's the thing it is. Like, choose one. Like, either have the gun be a character or something dumb like that, or have these emo things be part of the plot and be an active, like, role in his transformations and his like powers, but they don't.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, then it's like, so you're doing too much, but not enough.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I'm currently watching Kamen Rider Kiva right now, and there's Kivat. I think I'm mispronouncing that name.
Yeah, I think it's Kivat. Yeah.
Yeah, Kivat. He is like he's a talking character, a cutesy looking talking character.
When he's an active role in his literal transformation, he needs him.
Yeah. He is the thing that activates the transformation once he bites on the main character like a vampire and attaches himself to the belt. So it's like that works for me. That is a solid enough idea that fits within the realm of that show.
That tickles your pickle.
Yeah. But anyways, anything else to talk about with this show? I mean, I
think we've pretty much covered it because the show is still ongoing, so we might have more thoughts later.
Right. I didn't know that an episode dropped today as of this recording.
Yes, it did. Which I mentioned before, it's a Bushido focused one. It is, what was it? It was basically, focusing on Bushido, and there's some mind control involved in order to force Bushido to fight Gavan, so you got some Gavan on Gavan action.
Spoilers, I don't watch the teasers. I never do.
Like you're going to actually follow this show, David, given how making you watch these episodes was like pulling teeth.
Well, now I have to because I'm invested.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? That's the last thing is, did this show do enough of a job to get you invested and stick around for more? Both of you.
It did so more than the last Super Sentai show I saw, which was back in 2016. The lion one, Tojoker. Well, I forgot what it was
I'm
called.
pretty sure you're talking about Ju-Oger.
Ju-Oger. That one. Ju-Oger.
Ju-Oger.
Ju-Oger. In South Korea, it's called Power Rangers Animal Force.
I don't give a fuck what the Koreans think.
Whoa, cut that.
I know, but it's less anti-Semitic.
Cut that too.
All right, Frank, what are your thoughts on Galvan?
Gavan, Project Red Infinity. So for me, I'll be quite honest. Outside of seeing it with you guys, I probably wouldn't go out of my way to like really keep up with the show. Unfortunately, like. Just because, again, I feel bad saying this. It's because, again, it just hasn't hooked me. If more happens, or because for me, like, there's a lot of shows where I watch them and like something like hooks me in. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Like with Ultra and Gene, it was the Belial connection that got me, and then the show turned out to be brilliant, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Or with what is it? One of the most Kamen Double, like. The cool jazzy nature of it and the style switching of the belts that hooked me. So I was like, ooh, I gotta find out more. Like there's so far there's not been even some shows that I'm not like super into. Something always grabs me pretty quickly, and this show just hasn't had that moment yet. Like literally, I think the first time I ever expressed interest is an episode we just watched with the evil Gavan when he like pile drived him through a building. I was like, that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
But that was the bad guy doing that. So maybe that just shows what I'm into now, but also it's like, it took us 9 episodes for me to kind of be like, ooh.
Yeah.
But but like I said, I'll still, again, if you show me an episode, I'll still like give it a watch, but like, I don't find myself going out of my way to keep up with it right now.
I totally get that. And
sorry, folks. I know you were hoping I'd like it. I tried.
I hear that that's like a thing amongst modern tokusatsu where it's like, oh, give it 10, 20, 15 episodes. It'll start getting good by then. And like the first batch of episodes are always supposed to be like the standalone silly episodes before the actual plot kicks into high gear. I personally hate that shit because as a fan of Heisei, of 2000s era Kamen Rider, these shows have always gotten me my attention from the get-go. So I would rather prefer that, like, stuff actually like hits the ground running, and it just feel like it's going to be a very slow build before it gets to the story gets anywhere. Like I said, episode 7 feels like a change in the right direction, but I wouldn't be surprised for people to give up on the show if they are not the type who are willing to commit all the way through, like David is. That's
right. That is right.
Tell them. I'll stick around and continue to watch the show week by week, only for the sake of, hey, it's a brand new franchise. I want to be there when it starts and when it ends, or I want to see where it goes from here for the sake of
That's the very reason why I'm watching it.
Yeah, only because I forced you to. I had to.
That is the secondary reason.
I had to twist your arm into getting you to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, you pulled the leash on that.
Maybe we'll come back at a later date to talk about.
We have to now. When it ends, we have to make a final thoughts on the final episode.
I guess so. Yeah. So you know,
Frank has to keep watching now.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, again, I'll still watch it. Again, I'm just like not gonna do it on my own time because also the website that we're watching off is like cursed.
Well, here's the thing. That does give me a chance to complain about this. So Toei went out of their way to give Kamen Rider Zets a proper like multi-language release, especially in English, which they have never done before. I genuinely thought that they were going to do that with Project Red because, hey, it's a brand new franchise. It has nothing to do with Power Rangers, so there's no confusion there. And I'm really baffled why they didn't do that. They didn't like release this on YouTube like they did with Zets. But who knows at this point. It also doesn't help that they took down it doesn't help that they also took down all episodes of Gavan from their YouTube channel.
Yeah, the thing's like, hey, you want to know what this show is about? Sorry, no.
No. I mean, technically, you can still watch it on
You gotta buy the Blu-ray now.
Or you can watch it on Tubi, which honestly is in much better quality than the YouTube uploads. But still, everyone uses YouTube. It would have helped to have those episodes on YouTube. But it seems like, for the time being, Toei is not interested in introducing this franchise to Westerners since they can barely keep this show alive in Japan, apparently. But like I said, I'm very curious where it's going to go. But for the time being, it feels very much so like very box standard tokusatsu, where it's not bad, but it's not great. It's just sort of like in that middle ground where it's just okay enough to entertain you, but it's nothing you're going to really keep track of or remember for too long. If anything, I was talking about this with Frank and David prior to recording. It feels a lot like how I feel about Trigger, Ultraman Trigger, where when you remove Tiga from the equation, the Tiga homages, Trigger just feels like a very, very average show.
Well, again, it's trying to stand on the merits of its lineage without being, you know,
that is true.
A new show. But again, like I was saying at the beginning, what is a modern metal hero show now? So that's why I'm curious to see what Mobile Night does.
True, yeah.
Just because, again, that looks like a traditional like metal hero show where it's like a robot police force thing, shit. But like ACAB, but like you know what I mean, like. The idea of what these characters are, where again, much like GX3 and Agito,
mm-hmm.
where again it's a military grade like tokusatsu character, where there's a little more nuance and drama to it. It's not this flashy like that's what Gavan was. There was still a little layer of at least like seriousness to it, where it's like
that's true.
Like this is my job.
Right, and like we have his job is to take down this criminal that he's been sent after to catch. And here, outside of a couple of one-off criminals and Death Gavan, there's not a whole lot more out there for him to catch.
Yeah, but, and also like they're not doing because of their budget. Again, these are not like public crimes. Half the time, these characters are like I said, by themselves, generic alloy. It's like. They're just like, totally like wiggling their fingers, be like, hee, we stole all the spaghetti. Like some of the plots are like, we stole like a couple, like a handful of dollars from this bank. Wah! It's like, no one was even like, there's no victim. It's basically as a victimless crime. No one was hurt. You got out safely. You didn't destroy any property. And then Gavan beats the shit out of them. And there's like, Jesus Christ, officer, I'm sorry. It's like
stop resisting.
And he's like, scumbags like you belong on a cross. And it's like, oh God.
I remember, like, I still remember the alien, the hair alien with the really bad wig, where his whole deal was he wanted to steal Bushido's swords for his sword collection.
And that's it. That's it.
And yeah, in terms of like what it means to be part of the lineage of metal heroes,
we should end on this too.
It has Maku space, it has the Jochaku, it does the explaining the transformation every single time.
Every single episode. That kind of annoyed me. Like, we get it.
Trust me.
Children can understand.
No, trust
these
me.
guys transform.
Trust me, David.
That's
a
Ultimate Color
Gavan.
Timer.
That's a Gavan thing. The Gavan, the OG Gavan, they would always explain every single fucking time the transformation.
And actually, they homage that really nicely in the game Wonderful 101. Whenever the heroes, when the main group of heroes transform, they each get a little side piece where it shows them turning into the guy in slow motion.
Nice. And in terms of like what else it's going to do to homage Metal Heroes, we know that they're going to create a series of emo gears made specifically to homage every past Metal Hero, which is what Kamen Rider and Super Sentai has done before.
They're just linked to the game.
Yeah. For every Kamen Rider that comes out, each little collectible tchotchke, there's going to be a Kuga version, a double version, a Gaim version, and so on and so forth. So yeah, who knows how that's going to sell as well. But anyways, I feel like we are pretty much done. We have gone for about an hour and a half discussing the news surrounding Kamen Rider and our very in-depth thoughts on our first impressions, basically, of Super Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today on the latest edition of the Kaiju Caballeros podcast. I have been Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir.
I have been Gorizard, and half our audience dropped by this point, just like they dropped out of the show.
Damn. And I made Arm Spidey and stick to the local brew.
That's the local brew.
Local brew.
Like, get the hell off my property.
All right, folks. See you later. We're next episode. We're going to talk about what do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, parody in Tokusatsu.
Oh boy,
it's gonna be a fun one. I got a lot of fun recommendations and things that also frustrate me, but we'll get into that next episode.
Absolutely.
That's if we can record not at 11 o'clock at night. But
that's true. Until next time, everybody. Stay tuned and take care.
And stay up for property.